Hello! I'm Aaron.
I'm Keegan.
Welcome back to Growing Up Expat. Today we're going to be talking about what is a Today we are going to be talking about what is a TCK and how we are those.
Did you really need to say that?
Well, yeah. That's what I said before.
But if you...
Roll the clips!
It would have been better if... You can probably cut this out. The how we are those part. Because it's not necessary if you don't know what a TCK is yet.
But then it's a mystery. What is a TCK? Tactical crane cabbage. What? Cabbage is spelled with a C. Okay, so we have some questions here. We have 12 lovely questions. You can't see them because they're over there. Yeah. Behind the camera. But we have questions. Why don't you start us off?
What is a TCK?
Question numero uno, and a very good one at that. A TCK.
A TCK is a third culture kid. And we are those things.
Jeez. But what is a third culture kid? There's a hair in my mouth. So a third culture kid, you might be asking yourself, hey self, huh? But wait, don't get on your MacBook Pro and Google, not sponsored. But you always have to say that because then people would be like, oh, they're sponsored. I don't know who does.
I don't know if you can hear that sound that I made, but...
So a third culture kid is a child that was born in one country and then basically was raised and grew up all around the world. And the majority of their life they don't grow up in the place they were in their birth country.
Or birthplace.
So
I'm 13, almost 14. I'll be 14 in February 1st.
the first day of February, in fact.
I just said February 1st.
Clarification.
Claritin.
So we are third culture kids because we grew up, well, I grew up 9 years in Grand Rapids. Keegan, there was another hair. Bruh. You grew up for 7 years, and then we moved to Benchy, China. We lived there for 2 years, and then we moved to Phuket, Thailand. Not sponsored.
What?
So we lived in Thailand for 2 years, and then we moved.
What the hell?
You just bumped the tripod and everything.
Nothing happened. You didn't see anything.
Why did you kick off your slippers?
I'm overheating.
Why don't you take your hoodie off?
I don't want to do that.
Bruh.
And it's not a hoodie.
What is it?
A shirt that has a thingy.
A shirt that lost a lot of weight, so it has a lot of stuff on the neck. That's what it looks like. It looks like it should be a hood, but then it's just like all flap and sag. We moved back to China because of money things. Money
issues. We
didn't have many issues.
lack of money.
Yes, the lack of money. That's why we moved back. because Thailand's not really great for 4 people to live
A
together.
family of 4, basically.
Right, that's not really too easy to do. So we moved back. The place we moved back to was Wuhan, China. That wasn't too great because it was wet, sad, and cold. So we moved from Wuhan to where we are now, which is Foshan.
Foshan.
It's free real estate.
Is it hard to make friends growing up in a culture where you don't speak the language?
Yes,
Or
it is.
the country that you don't speak the language?
Yeah, in a country where you don't speak the language. Yes, it is. Because normally the way you go about making friends is you strike up a conversation about your common interests.
Sounds very sophisticated.
Pulling up them double point Scrabble words, if you know what I'm saying. Normally you talk to someone about like things you like, things you don't like, and then you kind of bond over that.
I was just about to say something really funny.
Say it.
So
Just expect me to slide in those DMs. But that normally that's how you make a friend or make an acquaintance. But it's difficult to do that when you don't speak the language and you're in a culture where you don't really like anything that people like.
Jeez.
And then I peed on myself.
What the hell? Well, I'm out, man.
Another question is, what would you like American kids to know about how you are growing up?
I guess like, I don't know, like we have a different outlook on
Life.
yeah, basically. Like what is important and some things that a lot of kids our age like deal with, we don't find important or we don't find it worth spending time on. Like drama of other people.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much stuff going on and like there's so much stuff going on in the world and a lot of people our age probably don't even know.
Yeah.
Like they probably don't know stuff that's going on in China or in Thailand or in other countries.
You know, other kids, they just focus on
Their current situation.
right.
And I think some people are very telescoped in that way, where they don't see everything. They just focus on their little bubble, their little world, and then they don't really get. That sometimes causes people's their priorities to kind of be out of whack. So like worrying about, you know, if that person did something in your school or, you know, what they're going to do or worrying about doing something to that person is like, that's not necessary. That's because, you know, teenagers do that. And it's almost like, no, we are more mature
Right.
than a lot of people our age. They're still acting like children, and we kind of couldn't for a while because we were around adults for some years, especially in China because we didn't have friends and we didn't have anybody that we could make friends with.
You're saying that in the past tense.
Well, don't. Still. Well, I have one friend. He's not here.
I have none.
My point was we just have a different outlook, and for other American kids our age, like maybe try to see things from a different perspective because it's not healthy and it's not very informative to know only one thing and not, you know, learn about other stuff that's actually happening. So that's what that would be my thing. Next question is, would you like to return to America?
The answer is
Nope.
The reason why we wouldn't like to return is because we don't want to go back to Trump land. For one.
Cheeto Puff land.
Yeah, we don't want to go back during all that.
No.
When he's impeached or when he's, not there, then maybe.
In any way, shape, or form.
Right, when
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
All the people in Haiti, you know what I'm talking about. We wouldn't want to go back because we went back last summer to visit our grandmother for 2 months, and I mean, like, going back for me, I thought like we were missing something.
Yeah.
I thought we were missing something about American culture that we hadn't had because we hadn't been there in a while, and I thought it would be a learning experience, and it was. Learn that we didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
It's like the same as when we left. Except we have a Cheeto Puff now.
Not really though.
But like most of the stuff, like especially when we went back to our grandmother's house.
Yeah.
That neighborhood. It's almost like exactly the same.
Yeah, and I think the reason why her house felt so big was because we were so small.
Right, we were little, so I walked in there, I'm like, I'm going to hit everything in here. I was looking down, I'm like, I can't move. It feels almost claustrophobic.
Yeah.
But the neighborhood, it was like the area, it felt the same. Like the stuff because we had like gone back to a few things, and we had seen family members, and it's like, wow, a lot of stuff has not changed. And it was like, I thought I was totally missing out on something. And sometimes when we weren't really around, still, we weren't around kids our age, because we became like, okay, well, we don't talk to people here, and it's like, we don't know anybody here.
Right.
And we don't know, like, what's happening, and that to me was something that I was afraid of, was how are other people going to treat us? Or if they're even going to treat us at all.
Right, because that was also one of the things, and one of the things I was, like, happy about is that, I know this is their job, but we went to a restaurant, and it was, like, the first day we were there, like, the beginning of the first day, and there was this waitress, and she was really, really nice. And I was wondering why she was so nice. And I was like surprised and very, very shocked.
Right, because in China, they haven't grasped the concept of hospitality in a store, in a restaurant, or any place where you have someone who is who has to help a customer in any situation. They have not grasped the idea of, I need to be nice to that person. They basically like tell you what you want or need to hear, and then sometimes they'll just, especially if you're a foreigner, they think that foreigners are rich because of, I actually don't know why, but
because we're Americans.
No, they think all foreigners are rich, though.
I don't know why either.
And yeah, that was the culture shock when we went back was a huge thing. And it, like, we had to watch what we said when we were doing stuff.
Oh yeah, that's also the thing though, because here we can say anything we want to.
Right.
Well, not everything. Or anything.
Not
but
anything. Like, I could walk outside right now and say, there's a woman eating coconuts on a balcony with no shirt. Now, granted, the balcony has no shirt on. See? She has a shirt. Balcony does not. But then, no one would
understand you or care.
Right. They probably wouldn't even. They probably might look at you like, "What are you talking about?" and just keep walking. But if you walked outside in America and did that, people would be like,
"Boy, if you don't."
The culture shock thing was. It was weird. It was just, let's just leave it at it was weird, because just that whole, and we knew, like, when we were here, we knew, okay, it's probably gonna be this way. It's probably gonna be like that. But then when we got back, it was like, oh my god, it's actually like that.
It was a lot more than I expected.
Right. So.
Next
question.
Is it hard to relate to other American kids your age? Yes.
For me, no.
For me, yes.
Well, okay. Well, we discussed this in the previous thing.
We'll probably just put that clip there.
Yeah, we'll probably just put the clip in. So.
Next question.
No, we'll. No.
No, we're not gonna go through that whole thing again.
Okay, but just so you know our reason, so we don't have to explain it again. Less work in editing. Well, more work in editing. Less work now. Roll the clip. No.
No?
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Because when we went to our grandmother's for the summer, we went on our first, like, actual camping trip, and we, there were a lot of people our age, and it wasn't hard for me to relate to anyone.
It was difficult for me.
Ow.
I think it's just because this will sound really bad, but it's like we're almost smarter than them, so it's difficult.
Oh, probably.
It's really hard for me to relate to somebody that's not smart. I'm trying to.
If you have the same things in common, then you can talk about that.
I was talking to one girl, and I was using really big words, as I always do, and she was looking like, what? It's really, this is the thing though. I've always gotten along with adults better.
But that's only and that's kind of the issue, because you didn't. When you have a large vocabulary, you have to learn to use.
Basically, dumb it down.
No, but this is gonna sound really bad, and I don't want it to sound like we're smarter than everybody, and I don't want it to sound like that.
Because we're
But
really not.
it's gonna end up sounding like that. You have to speak the local vernacular. You have to just blend. Sometimes that means sitting and listening to other people's conversations, and just jump in when it feels necessary. Or if they ask you a question or something, then you don't have to go off into this whole big, long, drawn out explanation.
That's boring.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You can do it in such a way that they're gonna understand, they're gonna get the answer that they wanted, and they don't feel like you just verbally spit in their face.
But that's fun.
Yeah, I know. You like the feeling of doing that to other people, but people don't like it being done to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have somebody intelligent be mean to me than somebody stupid, and I can pick on them for being stupid.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not all that necessary to pick on someone who's stupid. Or they're not necessarily stupid, they just don't know as much as you do.
No,
or don't know the same things as you do. Because sometimes a person you might consider stupid just doesn't know what you know or have the same experiences as you, and they have completely different stuff that you don't have. They know different things, which that isn't a bad thing, it's just that's what happens. So you can't really, I mean, if they just don't know anything and they're just a hat rack, then okay, that's one thing. But that also doesn't mean you have to be mean to them.
Next question.
Next question. What is the best part about being a third culture kid?
Or TCK if you want to be fancy.
TCK for all the cool, hip-happening people.
Back to that again.
You know who you are. So I think the best thing for me, all the stuff we get to do. So like, we went to Disneyland, Hong Kong for Keegan's birthday. We got to go to Shanghai on vacation. Before we moved to Thailand, we went to Thailand on vacation. You can stop that now.
Okay.
But I think it's just all the stuff that we've gotten to do and all the things we've been able to get. So like, the camera, for example, is one big thing. Even though it's quite small. But like, our iPads, because we have the iPad Pro 128? Yeah. Whoa. 128 gig, 12-inch screen. That, that's what we have. And, you can stop that. Oh, wow, that was a nice dodge. We have 2 of those plus the Apple Pencils. And if you want to know what I use that for, you can head over to my channel, Professor Raptor 25, and watch the entire Dino December series. You'll enjoy it. Share with your friends, people who aren't your friends, and even your creepy uncle.
Hashtag plug.
I think that's one of the best parts for me, is just all the stuff we've gotten to do and all the things we've gotten. What about you?
Well, I mean, it has to do with, like, it's the fact that, it also has to go with the fact that we're homeschooled and we don't have any friends, so
That's not really a best part.
Kind of is.
Well, we don't have to deal with schools.
Right.
So.
We only have each other. So,
yeah.
That's one of the best parts. And we get to work on projects that we want to do whenever we want to do it.
Right.
And especially for me, we're going to explain this more, go into better detail in the next video.
Yes.
Since I have narcolepsy, I can take a nap whenever I need to.
Yes. And we will explain what narcolepsy is for the people that don't know what that is in the next video. So, we have a couple questions left, but we're going to leave those for something else because unfortunately, we have run out of time. I know this is probably your favorite show on the internet, but,
Doubtful.
You have to give confidence, man. Hand me the paper. It's all like shriveled and dying. Just like my soul. Yeah, I just have to say, just like my soul. If you want to know where you can see all of our other stuffs, I'm just gonna do this. You can head over to YouTube and Facebook and search for The Traveling Fars, and we will be there. Then you can go over to Twitter and Instagram and go to Traveling Fars. We will be there. And our email, if you really want to do email, like, who does that?
I mean,
email is so 2014.
If you really want to say something, like add some questions, ask some
questions. If you really want to ask something with a long thing that is...
It doesn't have to be
that's
long.
Longer than you can put on Twitter. Then you can email us at thetravelingfars@gmail.com. And then if you want to listen to the podcast,
please, it's really recommended.
We recommend it 10 out of 10 would listen again.
I think it's 10 it's more 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10 would always listen again. You can head over to our website, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in blueberry, please. I'll put those
We
E's.
also bought some blueberries.
Yeah, we have some blueberries. And then you can head over to iTunes if you're not into websites or Twitter or YouTube. You could always head over to iTunes, and it's the Traveling Fars on iTunes. And then if you want to see my stuff, hashtag plug it, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, I'm all Professor Raptor 25. Made that very easy on myself. And if you want to check out some of the pictures from my Dino December, very original idea by me only. Then you can head on over to Prof Raptor 25, PROF capital P Raptor 25 on DeviantArt. You can check out my page on there. And Keegan,
My
your Instagram.
My Instagram is LunaWolf66. My
Your
Twitter is LunaWolf066.
And then Facebook is
Keegan Far.
There you go. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button. Duh. Like, really? If you have any questions... What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, hit the like button because if you'll think about it, the like button is gray and sad, and when you hit the like button, it makes it blue and happy.
Blue and happy. You don't want to make that like button sad, so make the like button happy. That should be our new thing. Make the like button happy. And if you have any questions or customer inquiries, you're not really customers because you're not buying anything for us. I mean, you're buying our crap, but
You can be buying our happiness that we're selling to you.
Yeah, the affordable prices of $100. Okay, so the battery died. We couldn't finish our outro, and I don't want to put it back on the tripod. You have to twist it for a very long time. So, make the like button happy. Turn it all blue and happy. And if you have any customer inquiries, then go ahead and comment that down below. And check the description for links of our stuff.
Sorry, I
On
didn't
top of
mean...
the glass, the fish don't like it. So yeah, thank you guys
for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Bye bye. We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.